know that the death rate for colorectal cancer has increased in people under 55? While this is a scary statistic, it's not necessarily supposed to be used in that way. It should be used as a valuable piece of information to tell us that we need change. We need to be able to provide as a country health insurance, basic health insurance to every citizen. In an article by Catherine Hoffman, primary care is fundamentally important to good health and encompasses both preventative care and the treatment of routine illnesses and problems that do not require specialist care. There's no reason that going to the doctor to get some flu medication should be breaking the bank. In another article by Kiwi She says that health insurance coverage disruptions were associated with lower past year and guideline concordant breast and colorectal screenings. Overall, it's important to have access to good medical care in order to keep our current health stable and good and our future health even better. Now, we also need to talk about why is there a need overall for health insurance. Health insurance is extremely unaffordable overall and costs a lot of money, and that is incredibly hard on people who are disparaged. In an article by Catherine Hoffman, she says that uninsured adults were found to be twice as likely as the insured to report that they or a member of their household skipped medical treatment, cut back on medication, or did not fill a prescription in the past year because of cost. In an article by Catherine McGarry, she says that basing health insurance subsidy on employment, the government has favored those who are in the labor force. People who aren't in the labor force would include people who might not be able to hold jobs, like people who are disabled or may not have a home in general. Or possibly they just have been laid off recently or down their luck. Overall, this system costs lives and gives the nation a bad look. There's no reason why medical bills should be breaking the bank. While there's a lot of opposition to every single opinion, in this situation there are a couple different views. One view is that we can't afford as a nation to be able to provide medical insurance to everyone, when in reality there are several nations around the world, several prosperous nations that do it. In an article by the Washington Post, they say a 2020 review of 22 studies showed that Medicare for all would save as much as $6 billion per year on provider and administrative costs. And then another opposition would also say that if you need medical insurance, just get a job. However, a lot of times that's not possible. In an article by Catherine McGarry, she says a selection of younger, healthier individuals into employment means that those who are not in the labor force have higher expected costs on average. And a lot of times these people who aren't in the labor force are also disabled. And if you're disabled, you're already going to have high medical costs alone and more medical costs in general. So if those are higher, you are in financial ruin in a way. However, there are a couple solutions that we can go through. An article by Edward Carey, he says, there are very few who do not acknowledge the actual superiority and effectiveness of the type of medical care that is provided by our free and independent medical profession, meaning that privatized health insurance doesn't mean your doctors are going to be all that better than the free and independent ones. And then an article by Washington Post, they suggest that the solution is to implement Medicare for all or a Medicaid type program. And in the same article by Ed Carey, the governmental action might be appropriate in any area of health insurance, and it should be in the nature of an experiment at the state or local level. So we're not jumping into things too fast, and we'd be able to customize it to what the specific locality needs. We can try to visualize this and thinking of how we could prevent cancer and overall keep our wallet and our health in balance. There's no reason why you should have to sacrifice your health for the health of your wallet. An article by Catherine Hoffman, she says that health insurance enables access to care by protecting individuals and families against the high and often unexpected costs of medical care, as well as connecting them to the networks and systems of healthcare providers. There is no reason that you should be in financial ruin over something that you could not control, especially if it's a broken arm or a twisted ankle or even just the common flu. There's no reason why you should be denied help because of your wallet. An article by Kiwi She says the importance of stable health insurance coverage to improve cancer screening, early detection when treatment is most effective is crucial in order to fighting cancer. And that is once again a huge thing that's facing our nation. Overall, there's a couple ways that you can take action, such as signing petitions, speaking up locally, and protesting. And then other than that, if you don't want to do either of those things, or if you're going to do all three, you can always go and sit in group council meetings and group settings and just work with people that also support this cause. Thank you so much.